Let's call our Public Service Meeting Committee to order. Let's please stand for the pledges of allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 3, adoption of the agenda, please.
Mono adopts the agenda.
Please vote.
He's not fooling around today.
Who is that? Motion passes 9-0.
Lucido votes yes.
Dayton's 10-0.
Approval of minutes, item number 4. Motion to approve.
Support Wallace.
Any discussion? If not, please vote.
Motion passes 10-0.
Thank you. Item number 5, public participation. If there's anyone in the audience like to speak on any item that's on the agenda, please come forward. I repeat it. See it none. I close public participation. Let's go to item number 6, department recommendations. I'd like to consolidate. Wait a minute. Let's go to public department recommendations. Brian, we got A, B, and C. Refer to full board.
Support Lucido.
Brian, you have the microphone.
Yes, good afternoon, Commissioners. First two items are similar in nature. They're a waiver request for the rehire part-time and contract of current employees that are retiring shortly. The first one is a gentleman who's been here 35 plus years. He works as an inspector, senior inspector in our bridge department program for our road department. That bridge department is obviously very critical to safety and the traveling of motorists through our county. Over the years, that's been headed and went in a direction that we've done more and more bridges every year to make our condition of our bridges, as you have seen from the video from the state of the roads, we're at about 90% good and fair as far as our 225 bridges within the county. That doesn't just happen by chance. It happens by a concerted effort of our staff in working with our program to get those bridges up to snuff as far as condition. But with that takes experience and knowledge. And that doesn't just happen on the streets, walking down the sidewalk when we have a need. As I said, this employee is 35 plus years. He's looking at retiring first of the year. With the next couple years of our bridge program, we have a considerable number of bridges that we need coverage on, and we don't currently have the staff to do that. And we can't hire somebody with the 30 plus years of experience other than going out to a private contracting firm, which is a lot more costly than rehiring somebody part-time that has the knowledge and experience that we're looking for. So asking for a waiver per the charter to reemploy on a part-time basis, not exceeding the 1,000 hours. Mike Pappas, who is in engineering aide 3, senior inspector for the road department. That's item A. Item B is another person that's retiring end of January, and that would be my administrative aide, Sue Van Steelen. She is retiring. That is a position that is pretty much on an island as far as what it does for my services. Communication with the board through civic clerk, all of the agenda items that come this way, all of the service calls that she gets, managing those with her 21 plus years of experience also. We don't really have a great successor plan for positions that are kind of on an island. So asking for the leeway to waive the waiting period, to bring her back on a contract basis, initially to train the person that's going to be replacing her, and then that will dwindle off as obviously that person gets more experience. The intent is to cut off that contract services once that person is functional enough to not have that training period. That would also involve if there was a lengthy vacation that she could supplement half days or whatever to come back and service my department in that capacity. So those are those two requests with the waivers on A and B. Item C is a typical cost share agreement. It's between us, Richmond Township, and Lenox Township for a project 32 Mile Road over the Highbank Creek. And this is a superstructure replacement. So it's not a full replacement, but it's a little bit more involved than just a standard rehab project. And that is a 80-20, so the federal funds participate with 80% of the construction cost. The other 20%, 10% us, and 10% split between Richmond Township and Lenox Township. County cost in that would be $222,524. Any questions?
Commissioner Romano.
Thank you, Chair. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Commissioner.
Let's go with the first guy. You've got 1,000 hours. He's going to be working maximum. You have a rate of pay for him?
I believe it's mid-30s. I can get you an exact number. I forgot to mention, these are going to be budget neutral. So what we budgeted for as far as the staffing and salaries in any one particular year, I think currently we have a request. We had 279. We have a request for 280 positions. At any one particular time during the year, we don't have all of those positions filled just because we have people retiring. We don't always get what we want as far as advertising and getting in people to fill positions. So we do have vacancies that obviously are occurring throughout the year. So we don't anticipate this being anything above and beyond what was requested budget-wise. So we're looking at this being a budget-neutral request for both positions coming back working a part-time basis.
So the bridge person that you're having, is he going to be also training somebody? I mean, he's going to eventually either leave or die. Hopefully he just leaves.
Yes, that is correct. So we have one EA3 that does do bridges, and he would supplement with the coverage for the multitude of bridges that we have this year, coming up in 25 and 26. So the anticipation is to utilize his services for 25 and 26 to get us by for those few years that we have a multitude of bridges on our books for rehabs and replacement.
And the second replacement that you're looking for, now, you knew she was going to retire. Why wasn't she training before now?
Because we can't advertise, we don't have the budget to bring somebody in.
I mean,
Because
on staff, don't you have somebody on staff that would, I would assume that you would move into her position that's been doing somewhat what she's been doing?
we don't have the latitude to have other staff sit in, they have jobs to do, and they're busy. We don't have a supplement. It's a position that's gonna be requested to be bid. We can't do that currently while she's still here. We don't have a position just lying around to supplement paying somebody else, and I don't have the staff that can train on a regular basis to replace her. It's a position that we need experience in, and I don't have somebody that I can just pluck out of administration currently that I can just train day in and day out currently.
You think 90 days would be more than enough to train a new person once they're in? I just want to see this lady on working. She's retired. If she didn't want to retire, she should have stayed. And if she's going to retire, then let her retire. But I don't think just should go on for 12 months or 24 months while she's training. That would be, what's the sense to it? Why not just put a time period on there? She trains the new people for whatever it is, 90 or 120 days, and she's gone.
As far as the training, I could say 90 days would be good for training. However, I still would like the latitude to have her come in. If my new administrative aide takes off for a week, I gotta have coverage. And that would be a part-time basis that I could call Sue in to cover, whether it's half days or whatever, or every other day, because I can't have a week's worth of stuff stack up. So the latitude would be a training period and then the ability to hire her on that occasion, her back to supplement when people are gone. I'm not talking a day or two, but if there's a week vacation, I can't have an administrative aide that's gone for a week and not have that covered.
So you want her on indefinitely. You're not looking
On
for
an
a
as-needed
time frame.
basis.
I'm sorry, you're not looking for a time frame for him. You're saying indefinitely, even though she's retiring.
It would be a contract, it would be a waiver of the 1 year requirement of waiting before somebody is hired back part-time. So,
Okay, that's all I need. Thank you. Can you break those apart for me, Commissioner? Instead of taking all three of them, how about taking A and, what do you want, A and, I'm fine with the bridge man, I'm not fine with the second one. So you want to break it apart so I can change my vote accordingly?
I can.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know yet. Commissioner Van Sickle.
Thank you. So you raise an interesting question, Brian. You don't have a backup for your administrative assistant now. Do you not let her take vacation for a week now? Because you said if she goes for a week, you have to have somebody fill in.
Right now, we do have somebody that has covered a person that's retired prior to the 2011 requirement of the waiver through the BOC. So we do have somebody that we have, but obviously she is current as far as the necessities and duties that we do have.
Yes,
So I do have coverage, but it was pre-charter. The
Okay.
charter now requires that I come to you for somebody that I'm looking at hiring part-time and get approval now versus,
I was just curious based
Recharge.
on your comment.
yes. So we
Thank
do
you.
have current coverage for Sue, but it was based on pre-charter language as far as coming to the BOC for the waiver.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Commissioner Zenner.
Thank you, Chair. Vicky's on some kind of coming back or working part-time or something. I don't know if it's the same thing as what Brian's talking about. But if you have, to me, it's logical, if you have someone who's quite knowledgeable, and Sue is exceedingly knowledgeable, and she says, yeah, I'll come back for a week or 2 weeks or, something like that. I'll dabble back and forth. That's someone who understands everything versus you're bringing someone in who tiptoes through the tulips. And that's a very busy department, as all the departments are busy. I think it's just logical if it can pan out. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
No other speakers. Commissioner Romano, you wanted to separate A, B, or
Could you
C?
take A and C and separate, or take each one individually and we can vote on them?
All right.
Do we need to change the motion?
Yes, the motion was for A, B, and C.
Motion was to consolidate all three.
Who made the motion? Simmons Rod.
I think I supported it.
Yeah, Wallace did.
Separate A, B, and C.
Support.
Thank you, Luke. Did you guys hear me? Okay, great.
All right, let's call a question on A. Please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
On item B, please vote.
Oops. Oh, I don't have a yes, I have a something. Hang on. Yes. Zinner.
Motion passes 10-1. Commissioner Romano voting no.
And item C, please vote.
Zinner, yes. Oh, here it is. I'm getting yes again. Don't
Motion
double
passes
vote me.
11-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. We now go to item D. I'd like to consolidate D, E, F, and G, and H. Vicky, would you please?
Motion to implement to full board.
Vicky,
Okay.
item D.
You got it. Good afternoon, Commissioners. If I can speak to items D, E, F, and G, they're all very similar in nature, referring back to a substantial amendment that we're looking to do within the annual action plan. We have various projects within our CDBG working group where we're looking to roll in some dollars from previous years. And so that does have to go in front of the board. The first project in front of you for the program year 2020 is in reference to a subrecipient agreement for the installation of ADA sidewalks in Macomb Township. The second amendment is for the 2020 annual action plan. This will provide CDBG funding for 2 road construction projects in the city of East Point. The third one is from the 2022 annual action plan. This is for projects within Shelby Township and then also in Mount Clemens for the Kern Center. And then the fourth one is an amendment to the annual action plan for home ARP dollars, looking to move the plan to be a little bit more aligned with more supportive services within that group. And then the final one is actually a grant agreement, so it's a little bit different as far as a budget amendment. So I don't know if you want me to talk specific to that one as well.
Yes, please.
That is item
Eight.
H on the agenda. This is a defense grant that we receive year after year. We've got a great partnership with our friends over at Michigan Economic Development Corporation. This is substantially the largest grant that we've received from them to provide support services to help market and promote aerospace and defense for Macomb County. And the award amount is for $362,081.27.
Any discussion, please? Commissioner Brown?
Yeah, thank you. All worthwhile programming, and it's a good job getting that nice grant. It's substantial and builds on our success.
Yes, it
And I
does.
appreciate that. As an aside, just since you're here, some of your staff was out in Washington Township for the Community Development Block Grant Program, and I heard good reviews about the staff and how professional they were and how they had all the answers.
Appreciate
So I
hearing
just
that.
wanted to pass that along to the team.
Got that?
Right.
Got that, team? Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
No other speakers? Please vote.
Motion passes 11-0.
Thank you guys. Have a great evening.
Good job, Vic.
Whoa, great presentation, Vicki.
Item number 7, public participation. Anyone from the public? Anyone from the public? If not, we'll close public participation. Commissioners' comments. I would like to, in advance, wish Miss Commissioner Zinner a happy birthday for tomorrow.
My birthday, I'll be
Don't
at
tell us.
73. Very happy at 73 tomorrow.
All right, great, awesome.
That's not what Joe said.
Don't pick it. See, what did you say, Joe?
That's Joe again.
That Joe again.
All right, very
Thank
good.
you very much, Chair.
Any other commissioners? If not, the
Motion
motion.
to adjourn.
Mr. Van Sickle, Commissioner Van Sickle.
A few of us attended the Southeast Michigan Chamber of Commerce this morning, and I'm pleased to report that Commissioner Hall received a nice award from them. I'll let him quote what the name of it was.
It was for recognition and supporting small businesses from an elected official in Macomb County.
Here, here.
So thank you, Commissioner Hall, for
Thank you, Don, for bringing that up.
your efforts on that subject. That's it. Thank you.
I got it on the count.
Item number 9, Commissioner Romano,
Motion to adjourn.
please vote.